Am I the asshole for no longer allowing my sister to work in my daycare after what she did? Hi, I'm a 32-year-old widow. Have been for 3 years. I struggled a lot financially. I didn't get help from my family because they claim they can't, so I decided to start a home daycare. It's been open for 7 months now. My friend was able to get me more clients via Facebook. Thank goodness my business is growing and I've made quite a lot of friends who are moms and also established good reputation since my daycare has been recommended. My sister, 26, is unemployed. Didn't find a job yet and had rent to pay for her and her boyfriend. My parents suggested I let her come work with me at my daycare and accepted since she has experience in the past. I agreed to let her come and earn her living. She got along with the other workers and things were going fine. Until she came to me asking about a specific child that comes to our daycare. He's 4. Very well behaved for his age. I was confused after she complained about him. She said she saw his dad come over to pick him up and didn't feel comfortable when she saw him because he's a police officer, and she had an unpleasant incident with the police BC of something her boyfriend did that she needed therapy for and struggled a lot from. She wanted me to let the child go and tell the parent to look for another daycare. He usually arrives at 3 p.m. to pick the kid up. From what I understand, his wife's sick. I refused. I've no good reason to let the child go. My sister refused to drop it and started being mean to the dad. It was unprofessional of her. I told her she either be respectful or I won't have her work with me anymore. 2 days ago she sent an email to the dad telling him we won't be welcoming his kid at the daycare anymore. He came to talk to me and I was livid when I saw the email. He asked why and talked about his kid wanting to stay because he's friends with other kids. Talked about not being able to find a daycare closer than ours. I lashed out at my sister and I told her she's no longer able to work at the daycare because of her behavior. We got into an argument and she left after saying I was being unsupportive and inconsiderate. My parents called me saying I shouldn't have kicked my sister out and now causing her to lose her apartment. They argued I have no regard for my sister trauma and I should have let the child go and support her because she's my sister. Everyone shamed me and claimed I had messed up priorities. I felt I was in the wrong for letting her struggle now without a job, but I have no reason to let go of the child as well. He wears a uniform. My aunt suggested that I ask him to get someone else to come and pick up his kid, or at least I let her leave before 3 p.m. and arrive a bit late in the morning. But others would notice the difference in treatment at the daycare. I understand that there are parents struggling and I do all I can to help out and be supportive. Yes, she's my younger sister, but treating people like that was unprofessional of her. One thing to clarify, my sister's boyfriend is in no contact with my family due to issues. However, they said they want to support my sister and be in contact with her and support her although they don't have a relationship with her boyfriend. That's why they keep pressuring me to help and support her. Not the asshole. You could have lost the whole business because of what she did, and you gave her plenty of warning. Even if she needed therapy, she was still being beyond unreasonable. She could have excused herself for a break at the time the cop came to his kid, and she'd have never needed to see him, but instead she went behind your back and went against your explicit instructions. She got exactly what she deserves. From someone who strongly believes in police abolition, you are not the asshole. While maybe your sister would not be the best person to interact directly with this particular dad, she is putting her own issues on a kid for what she believes, correctly or not, are the sins of the father. There is no reason for her to have anything against a child, or to want to send care on the basis of her feelings towards the father's profession. Not the asshole. She unilaterally made a decision about your business. If this person wasn't your sister, there'd be no argument from anyone. She should be fired. Unfortunately for your sister, this is the consequence of her actions. If you're this dependent on a job for your financial stability, you don't pull stupid crap like this. Your sister has stepped so far off the line that the line is now a dot to her. She isn't the owner of the daycare. How dare she take executive decisions for it? Today it's, let's fire this kid. Tomorrow she could take a decision that could prove dangerous. She appears to not have good judgment at all. The correct way to approach it would have been to take herself out of the situation when the kid's parent comes for pickup. That way she won't be triggered. But for your family and sister to ask you to jeopardize your business when they're unwilling to help you is just sheer cheek. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. There's a reason your sister is unemployed. She's simply a poor employee. This is a business and she failed to demonstrate any respect for you as the owner. Not the asshole. Please ignore those saying your priorities are messed up. What your sister did is outrageously unprofessional and appallingly out of line. She does not get to dictate your clientele, or be abusive to them because they occupy any given profession. Nor is her struggle to find a job your responsibility. You have your own life and worries, and are making a living. It is her unprofessional behavior that caused her current difficulties. Not the asshole. The solution should have been, hey, I have this trauma. Could you have someone else there when the dad picks his kid up? The solution was not going behind the business owner's back and letting a client go. How entitled. Not the asshole. She is a worker, not the owner. She has absolutely no right to determine who your clients are, and you did what anyone would have done in your situation. Also, you didn't cause her to lose anything. This is solely on her and her actions. Not the asshole. As an employee, your sister didn't have any right to do this, but it's worse than that. She is clearly willing to punish a child for a problem she has with their parent, which says to me that she isn't the right sort of person to work with children. Are your parents willing to help her open a competing daycare in their home? Not the asshole. Unprofessional acting. And in what way does your sister own the business to be making executive decisions as to which child attends? Your business, your decision, and that includes hiring and firing. Please ignore them. If they are so worried, they can look after her. I would guess that they will, despite not being able to help a young widow with children, though perhaps I am just cynical. Not the asshole. Your sister is learning about what happens when she makes bad choices. She overstepped for childish reasons after you telling her to drop it, and now she's paying the price. It's her own responsibility to take care of her trauma. Not the asshole. You're running a business. She's your employee. She would never behave that way to another employer. She failed to respect your boundaries. Trauma is real, and it impacts people in unpredictable ways. But her behavior is inexcusable. Not the asshole. That's discrimination and weird. Also, if it was anywhere else she'd get fired too. Can't give her the "but she's family" thing. Not the asshole. Let me preface this by saying, I'm not a fan of police. I don't like them. I don't trust them. But to put a 4-year-old child on blame for the job their parent has is some top-notch bullshit. You did the right thing firing her. Not the asshole. You are the boss and she lied to a client. Plus she was unprofessional. That's totally grounds to fire her. Parents can pay her rent or she can move in with them. They need to respect your rights as the boss. Not the asshole. You would be hurting your business if you refused that kid and did her a favor by giving her a job when she needed one. She also directly disobeyed you. Not the asshole. It's not her business. She can't dictate who the clients are. She also, after you already told her to stop, pretended to have the authority to reject the cop's son from the daycare. If you weren't her sister, she could have been sued, not just fired. Also, if she has an issue with police, she should know anything that a cop could interpret as being offensive could land her in a world of hurt. Not the asshole. This is why family and business rarely mix well. No way would I have her back in my business. Not the asshole. Your sister has problems. If you'd let her stay, she might have pushed away all of your clientele. Then both of you would be homeless. Not the asshole. She may be your sister, but you are also her boss in this situation. And work comes first. Especially after you told her multiple times to drop it. Not the asshole. She has a right to complain. She doesn't have a right to attack or harass the father because of it. You did let a child go, your sister. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, but it sounds like you have a lot of entitled people in your life and you probably taught her a valuable lesson about professionalism. Not the asshole. That behavior was extremely unprofessional and prejudiced. Everything that happened after that is her fault, not yours. Not the asshole. Yes, she's your sister, but she was also your employee. Her behavior was unacceptable. You're running a business and something like that could have had consequences for the business. You're 32 and own your own business. Why the hell does your parents' opinion matter? Don't even be open to hearing their opinions. Your sister is fired. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Absolutely not. Any rational or even conscious mind would see that she was incredibly rude and out of line. She got herself fired. Not the asshole. As someone whom most would feel has a less than favorable opinion of police, I still accept their money and treat them with the same courtesy as any other client. Your sister would do well to learn some professionalism. Not the asshole, but as someone who has PTSD, please encourage your sister to seek help. I've done a lot crazier things to avoid my triggers. Not the asshole. Little sis was traumatized by the police because of something her boyfriend did. Yet, she's still with the boyfriend, thinking face. Not the asshole. She has the right to complain or maybe even ask someone else to get the child when the dad brings him over or takes him home. She overstepped so much boundaries, disrespected you as a sister, as a boss, disrespected the bus signs and the work opportunity. You did the right thing. Not the asshole. Your sister needs therapy for her trauma, she can't bring her traumas to work with her. Not the asshole. This business is your livelihood and your sister is threatening that. You are the business owner, she is an employee. If she can't perform her job to your satisfaction and is rude to your clients, you should treat as any other employee and let her go. You've got to do what's in the best interest for you and your business, and keeping her around is clearly not that. Not the asshole. Your sister's trauma is her issue to deal with, not her issue to disrupt your livelihood. And she certainly has no right to disrupt a total stranger's life over it. Not the asshole. Your employee disregarded your instruction and intentionally tried to remove a client, causing you extra work and potential loss of income. This is a fireable offense. Not the asshole. I don't like police at all and her trauma could be 100% legitimate. But she's essentially discriminating against a toddler for their father's career. What's worse, is this is not her business, it's yours. She is a worker. She had absolutely no authority to send that email. Her options were deal with it and maybe get some more consistent therapy focusing on the issue, ask you if there is another task she could focus on around when he picks up, or quit. She does not have the authority to send the email she sent, and she would be fired from any other establishment for doing so regardless of if her issues, trauma were legitimate. You not firing her would be showing favor toward family, and look bad on your business. Not the asshole. You could potentially accommodate her in some way by having her not perform pickup duties or something, but I don't think you're obligated to or that this would even be feasible. Info, is her trauma with this specific police officer or just police in general? NTA. Not the asshole. Your business is not a replacement for your sister's therapy. Regardless of her feelings about cops, if she has such severe anxiety around someone based in their profession, then it is her responsibility to find a job where she doesn't have to interact with the public. He wears a uniform. My aunt suggested that I ask him to get someone else to come and pick up his kid, or at least I let her leave before 3 p.m. and arrive a bit late in the morning. But others would notice the difference in treatment at the daycare. What? Is your aunt insane? She needs to get a grip. You can't ask a paying client to do those things. Your sister absolutely overstepped the bounds of employment and deserved to be let go. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Are your parents gonna pay your bills when your sister's foolishness costs you more clients, and eventually your entire daycare business? Didn't think so. Tell them they can start a business and hire her to work for them, or pay her bills for her. NTA, she had no right to go behind your back to kick out a kid just because their dad is the officer of the law. Maybe she should instead be part of the daycare, she obviously hasn't grown up. Not the asshole. If it wasn't your sister, it wouldn't be an issue. What she did was a fireable offense. You look after you. Also, is the dad a cop or does she just think he is? There are ways to work around not wanting to deal with an individual, such as asking you to do child handovers with that particular parent, but sending an email behind your back is throwing her weight around, then having a tantrum when she didn't get away with it. Trauma or not, she was out of line. Not the asshole. Ask everyone how their employer would react if they canceled a contract, business arrangement, etc., with a client after their boss refused. They'd be fired for overstepping. In this instance, you were the owner, boss, and your sister was the employee. She had zero authority to dismiss someone from the daycare and tried to do it anyway. She put you in the position of having to fire her as her boss, not as her sister. You would have fired a different employee for pulling the same stunt. Info: is there a reason her boyfriend doesn't have a job? Is there a reason she could only get a job through you and say not like a grocery store or fast food? Honestly, they didn't give a shit when your husband died, so if they care so much they can take her and her boyfriend in. Maybe they can see how fast that stupid shit flies at McDonald's or Walmart. Family when op loses their husband, crickets. Family when op rightfully fires sister, but she's family, not the asshole. If your family is so concerned they can take her and her boyfriend in. There were other solutions to this issue and she had no right to do what she did. Her behavior and actions could have destroyed the business and put you and her out onto the street regardless. If she's this scarred from an interaction with a police officer, it's time for help. Tanking your business is not the way to do it. Not the asshole. In addition to what everyone else is saying, it's funny how your parents are shaming you for removing your sister from your business that you created when none of them were there to help you in times of needs. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Your sister went behind your back after you told her that you didn't agree with what she wanted. She was willing to let you lose a client and potentially future clients if dad chose to give you a bad review. Your parents are enabling her behavior.